Hi everybody, Dan the Wolfman here off the cuff with coffee as usual. So today what I want to talk about is about Budo and why you train martial arts and if it's to be a protector of others, a protector of weaker, if you are willing to help people. Chadi just had a video out on a jiu-jitsu instructor that stepped into a third-party encounter and he took a very serious beating. I wish him well. With just a few snippets of video, we have no idea, was he being a little bit of a too much ego and wanting to throw down, or was he really coming to someone else's rescue? Third party encounters are very dangerous. Before I go on, everybody, please always thumbs up, get in the comments, help against the evil corporations and algorithms that are going on, as I try to point you to some truths. Also, please consider, look at the reviews, both on effectiveselfdefense.com and BJJ Fanatics. I got about 5-star reviews now from very experienced people, some beginners, mid-level, but also very, very experienced level people in also real-world stuff, multiple martial arts, law enforcement, military, mercenary work, etc. You might want to pay attention to. Please, even if you just love the sport aspects of jiu-jitsu or karate or taekwondo or whatever it is, I don't care. All martial arts are the same, just like all people. You might want to take a look and please get my Combatives and Street Jiu-Jitsu DVD, 4.5 hours. At least get a few minutes of the best parts talking about awareness and transitional space and stuff with your loved ones. Self-defense is the cornerstone of martial arts. Okay? And part of martial arts and part of Budo is being able to go to someone else's rescue. And this also relates to if you are a armed CCW carrier, if you carry a deadly force tool on your person. Then it is a lot of similarities, but also a little bit differently. You have to be a little more sure about stepping into third-party encounters, meaning you come up on a fight, you come up on someone being assaulted, you come up on a crime. Also, I want to talk to coming to people's rescue in a medical sense. So I just start filming, guys. I don't always plan things out. Let's just talk about some of the times I've stepped into third-party encounters or gone to help people out that were in medical need. Let's do the medical first, because that's just as, if not more important, or you're more likely to do it. Since the world really started turning to NWO and taking over because of bad people back from World War II that sold out their own people and that finance a lot of really evil, bad stuff, because really their goal is to destroy you. Yeah, that's their goal. They've said it and they've done it and they've destroyed other countries. And governments from other countries that really want to absolutely destroy us. Okay. So, anyway, I remember a time, I think I was 18, driving in the snow in the Midwest, middle of winter, and I saw a car on the side of the road just under an underpass, just before an underpass, with the door open. And I always kind of do slow down. People say don't, but I kind of like to know what's going on. Not to be an idiot if it's handled, but if it's like a new scene, I evaluate the scene, as later I've been trained to do. Someone, door was open. Oh, back up. I think there was a body on the ground, kind of in the ditch. Someone was having an epileptic seizure. Okay? You never know who's low on insulin, epileptic seizure, heart attack. You never know. So, the phone, I was an very early carrier of cell phones back in the day. Big white thing. I think at 16, 17, I had one in high school, and no one did. For stuff like this, not to chat with everybody. I use it as a tool, not as a brain manipulation device. So I used my tool. I called 911 and I tried to get a coat underneath her head from banging the ground. And that's just about all you can do, not holding somebody down. So that's one instance. At another time, I was at an ATM machine and I'm going up to the ATM, and behind me, an old woman tripped on the parking block and hit her head on the curb and blood's gushing. So I didn't carry medical gear at the time. I rip off my shirt and I'm calling 911 and I have to, take care of her and hold a shirt to her head. Stunt doubling Stallone, a stunt woman cracked her head open very bad. Better than the set medic, I'm evaluating her pupils to see if she has head trauma, and she had previously told me she had some head trauma, so I really did have to take care of her. Things like this happen. Let's talk about your martial arts skill. Why do you train? I hear people, it's not your business, don't get involved. Yes, getting involved can be very dangerous to self. It can be. Now, I have less fear than most men, and I don't have little kids to take care of and get home new and things of that nature. So it may be a bit of a personal thing. But there's lines that we have to decide. Have we trained? And I'm not talking Mr. 3 months of jiu-jitsu or karate, right? I'm talking someone that has taken their training very seriously. Do I have to step in? It depends. Domestic cases are very difficult even for multiple cops on scene. It's the worst cases. It's one of the most dangerous calls for law enforcement officers. That's always very bad. You might come to often a woman, but a woman could be beating a man or whatever as well, or woman. That's the worst. As a bouncer, I can tell you, gotten to a couple of those. That's the worst. They both start clawing you as they have each other's hair. It's crazy. Oftentimes, but it can be very bad. And often if you come to getting in the middle between a man hitting a woman, the woman might turn on you, stab you, kill you, shoot you. It is true. Now, if I see a man smacking a woman, giving her a shove, whatever, I might say, whoa, bro, relax, man, chill out. And have the phone out so he sees my cell phone with 911 already dialed, ready to dial 911. Okay? Get professionals on the scene. Now, if I see a big man just shoved a woman to the ground and now he's close fist punching her, am I going to have to step in? To me, a disparity of force that could be deadly force. I might have to try to save someone's life. Okay? Or if I'm armed from a safe distance, not to escalate the violence up, but from a good, 7 yards at least, 10 yards better, I may draw a gun and order him to stop committing crime, or anyone to stop committing any crime if I've witnessed it. If it's been in my direct vicinity within the immediate time frame, depending on your state statutes. Okay? You might have to do those things. Let's talk from personal experience. Maybe, hopefully, you didn't click off yet. I'll just try to remember a few. I think 15 years old, Dan the Wolfman. Before I even did Aikido, I did my first Kodogeshi because my Korean Taekwondo instructor taught me a little bit of Hapkido. A guy was grabbing a girl's hair and I stood up and, man, you better let her go. Always de-escalation and alternate between gentle voice and hard voice. I discuss this stuff in my Combatives Street Jiu-Jitsu series on BJJ Fanatics and Effective Self-Defense, guys. Please listen to me, and you can think when you're in situations. Let her go. He wouldn't let her go, and I Kodogeshi his hand. Let her go, and put more pressure, and he lets her go. On Chadi's page, I fought 10 guys in a bar fight video. Look it up. Discussing coming to MMA author Clyde Gentry's, my editor-in-chief at Ultimate Athlete Magazine, that I wrote for back in the day. Coming to his rescue when someone sucker punched, and then boom, I got 10 guys trying to punch me, and then the masked one takes us down. Listen to his video for that. Came to his rescue, and yes, 10 guys stomping you on the ground or hitting you in the back of the head, that's deadly force. You could die. But sometimes you have to do things to protect people you know, or even if you don't know them. Okay? And being very well trained about real self-defense and keeping your awareness like I did, and being able to scoot and get out of the way, get up to base, run away. Very important stuff. Kind of the funny one I tell on BJJ Fanatics. 2014, no, 2015, because I had a pancrase hat. 2015, I think, Subway in Japan. Japan's usually a very safe spot. Sometimes at night you'll get the drunk and or schizophrenics and combinations kind of just going off and yelling at people, and they just want attention, and really they're kind of, most of them are actually like pretending. It's a weird thing, but usually not violent. I'm on a subway and suddenly there's an older guy, I don't know, maybe like 50, 55, maybe only 155 pounds, not that big a threat, but he's standing over a young girl, early 20s, late teens, and he's threatening like this, and he's clenching up, and then he relaxes and he clenches up and he's yelling, but he's leaning over. So I look around really quick, and everybody else is just, including all the men. When society makes you ants, and I like Japanese society a lot, and it's usually safe. But when the NWO makes society and says stop being manly, and it's so bad to be manly, and yet those are usually who's rescuing you in floods and bad things happening. No one's doing anything. All the men are like this. They're scared to even look. They're scared to even look. They don't even say anything. I give it a second to see if anyone will say something in Japanese before the foreigner that speaks very little Skoshi Nihongo stands up. Well, I stand up and I yell at him, "Dame desu!" And I take my umbrella and I put it like a samurai above my head. Why? Because his hand, especially, not only towering over a smaller woman, but his hand keeps going to his back pocket. That's a bad sign, people. I don't know what's in his back pocket. I later see what it is, but I don't know. Is he about to stab some girl? And instead of just going empty hand on him, I use my umbrella. It wouldn't be much of a tool, but it is a distance tool, and he could be scared of getting whacked, right? So the fear here. Now I yell at him in Japanese, and then I go to passiveness as he takes his hand away, and then I go, "Sir, please relax," and then, "Okurusai." Sit down, relax. I have to play that. I do that a lot in my years of bouncing, playing mental games. Turns out, and he might have hit her with it, it was one of those hand-squeezing exercise things. I don't know. That's what he had in his back pocket, and he might have hit this girl with. But the point is, no one did anything. I was the most able to do something, and so I did something. Could that turn out bad for you? Yes, indeed. Multiple opponents might jack you, might get stabbed in the back, hit in the back, shot in the back of the head. You don't know. But real martial arts should be training for self-defense and be training for real martial situations. Other times, after 9/11, I went through a firefighting academy. I'm Fire 1, Fire 2, and Hazmat certified. North Hollywood, friend, fellow, wannabe actor, guy I hung out with, could have possibly done some things. He had a great look and voice, kind of like a young De Niro, Italian friend of mine, hanging out, and then we hear screams. The very, 2 doors down, maybe, 2 doors down, same apartments attached, fully engulfed fire. Okay, now earlier that day or the day before, the weekend before, whatever, I had seen that family with 1 or 2 young children. I remember seeing them at the pool, the itty bitty little thing, that they had children. So I get my friend to get the regular hose on, low pressure hose on, but get him to turn it on. And I crawl and do a search. And by the time I got to the back, crawling on my hands and knees, it was fully engulfed. Now, these may be crackheads that burn themselves down, but there could still be innocent children in there. So I take the hose and I go in and I at least get a good peek. I mean, by then the 2 back bedrooms in the back were totally engulfed. And I mean, my hair, I stunk. My hair is off my forearms. And Dan the Wolfman's area, I had some hairs burning off, and it wasn't good. And I'm yelling out, and eventually I got to get out of there. Could something have collapsed on me? Perhaps. But am I going to let little children die? Or if someone loses it and is an active stabber, driver, it doesn't matter what the tool is, people. Am I going to step in to try and handle it to save other innocent lives? Yes, of course. If you're a follower of my channel, look at my playlist, get my DVD, train hard, try to train realistically, carry medical equipment on you. I now carry a whole packet on my back with 3 gauze rolls and 2 packets of Quick Clot. I've always carried a rag that I can, a do-rag, a bandana folded up that I can quickly take out and compress on my own wound or someone else. I keep other medical equipment, and I keep a rat's tourniquet, a little, it's not as great as a cat's, but underneath my belt, I keep a cat's and the same package of medical stuff in my glove box, as you should, and at home with my other ready-to-go gear and things like that. Another time, park, 4th of July, big open field, whoom, huge fire picks up, and it's starting to go, and it's starting to go good, and it's getting big, and it might curve, and people are backing up, and like, it got really bad. Can I do a whole lot? No. I ran up to usually you don't want to involve yourself with a cop or firefighter, say, do you need backup? Do you need help? They were just going out there, go, look, I went through a fire academy, I'm certified, I'll help you hump hose. Cool, man, get on. And I helped them because they had to go a long distance to help hump the hose out. And then I backed the F away. You don't want to be a nuisance in scenarios, but certain scenarios, if you have training and can think clearly, you want to be able to help. So guys, about being a martial artist, stepping into a third-party account or as an armed citizen is often very, very dangerous, okay? But if you punch an old man in front of me playing a game, you're some dumb teenager, I don't care the color of your skin, because there's only one race, the human race. And media and the bad people might try to manipulate things, but I'm not letting anybody, no matter the color of their skin, their background, who they are, I'm not letting an old person or disabled person get assaulted. That is not why I train. I train so I can protect myself, my loved ones, and to be able to protect innocent people. So think about what you're willing to do, and the cell phone's usually the best bet, and medical equipment's probably more likely to be used, but think about when there's a level where you got a voice from a distance and say, I'm calling 911, back away, and maybe that backs someone off, or maybe you have to get involved. You have to decide these things for yourself and think about them. Please thumbs up, share, subscribe, get in the comments, and stay safe, everybody.